Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Athar Parveen. TET, GPSTR, HSTR, KSET. These are the 4 entrance exams in our priority right now. We know that aspirants have many doubts related to these exams. So we are going to discuss about these exams in detail in this class. All the 4 exams. We have planned this class in such a way that we will be clearing all your doubts and also we will give you exam pattern and syllabus idea for all these teacher recruitment exams in this one video. So you have to watch this class till end to clear all your doubts, and after watching this full video, if you still have any doubts, then you can write in comment section or you can also write in our Telegram group. Okay. Please don't write in WhatsApp because it will not help other aspirants. It will be a personal conversation. Your doubts will be helpful only if you write in Telegram group or in the comment section below this video. Okay. So on this note, let us start this very important and useful class. So here I have made a very beautiful table so that you get everything in one screen and it will give you idea about all these 4 exams. First, let us start with the Karnataka TET. Now, what type of exam is this? Is it a easy exam or moderate exam? See, it can be easy to moderate. It may have some easy questions. It may have some moderate questions. Of course, very few tough questions also will be there as usual in any exam, right? Then what is the mode of this exam? See, till now it was conducted in OMR, but now they have announced it that it will be conducted online. Means TET will be conducted in CBT mode from 2025. And what is the pattern of the questions? This exam has only MCQs and those MCQs will have no negative marking. Okay, no negative marking means this exam becomes easy to moderate exam. Okay, and you write this exam to get eligibility for the teacher recruitments like GPSTR and CRISE. What is the eligibility criteria for this exam? If you are from general merit category, then you should get 60% of what is the question paper. And if you are from OBC, SC, ST, PH or any other criteria, then you should get 55%. Now, what are the total number of questions in this exam? Total number of questions will be 150. So, out of 150, if you get 90 answers correct, then you are eligible if you are from general merit. If other things like OBC, SC, ST, PH and all that means, if you get 82 answers correct, then also you will be eligible. Once you qualify this exam, it is having lifetime validity as per the latest NCTE norms. Okay. Now, coming back to the exam pattern. This exam is conducted in 2 ways. One is paper 1, another is paper 2. What about paper 1 means it is for class 1 to 5. What about paper 2 means it is for class 6 to 8. Okay. In paper 1, you will have EVS, mathematics, child pedagogy and all those things. Like you will have language 1, language 2 and all that. But in paper 2, you will have particularly science. Up to PUC they are telling from 2024 syllabus. We don't know if they will change it again this time in 2025. That we don't know, but as per 2024 syllabus, science is to be done till PUC. Okay, and you will have mathematics. And of course, science includes physics, chemistry and biology. Along with that, you have language 1 also, language 2 also and a CDP also will be there for Karnataka TET paper 2. Okay. So what is the most important tip we would like to give you for preparation of Karnataka TET? You have to focus on maths and science. You have to focus on CDP. And of course, you should practice mathematics a lot and you need to work on your speed and accuracy because if the questions have lengthy answers, then your time may be less because they will give you 2 hours 30 minutes for 150 questions. And 2 hours 30 minutes means totally it is 150 minutes. So 150 questions you have to answer in 150 minutes. Okay. But still we can say that this exam, if you compare with the next exams like GPSTR, HSTR and KSET, this is going to be the easiest exam. Having said that, it will contain broad and a variety of questions, but still this becomes a very important exam because it gives you eligibility for teacher recruitments and it is having lifetime validity. Okay, you are clear with this exam, right? Now let's move to next exam. Which is our next exam? If you have qualified TET, you go for GPSTR. Now talking about GPSTR. Now GPSTR is also having easy to moderate questions because this also does not have negative marking. But it has 3 papers. Paper 1, Paper 2 and Paper 3. What does Paper 1 have? Paper 1 has CDP, GK, aptitude, computer knowledge, value and health education. Along with that, it will have maths and science. Okay, of course, in depth it will be there depending upon PM and CB methodology. If you are a PM method aspirant means depth questions will be there from PM. If you are a CB method aspirant means depth questions will be from CB, but you will have to answer PCMB in your exam, and exam has both MCQ and descriptive type questions. In paper 2 you will have 50 MCQs and the remaining questions will be descriptive. Okay, and in paper 3 you will have language proficiency depending upon your language. It can be Kannada or it can be Urdu also. Okay, clear, right? Now GPSTR becomes important exam because this is a recruitment. If you have qualified TET, you can write this exam, and if you get into top merit list, you can get this job actually. Like we have 2 exams in this. One is for PSTR, that is for primary level. GPSTR, it is for 6th to 8th. Okay, PSTR is for 1 to 5 classes. For this also another eligibility criteria is there. If you have TET qualified from paper 1, then you can write this exam, PSTR. Okay, and you should have done DED. That is also another important criteria for PSTR. Okay, now let us talk about GPSTR only here. So in GPSTR, if you have qualified TET paper 2 and if you get into merit list, you can get this government job of primary school teacher, graduate primary school teacher. So that's why this exam becomes very important exam. Now in order to prepare for this exam, you need to go into subject wise depth because you are going to write descriptive part answers in this exam. So that's why you have to prepare subject wise depth, and also you should practice how to write descriptive answers. Okay, aspirants who have been preparing for Karnataka TET and have qualified Karnataka TET, they can now focus more on descriptive answers because you all are already used to writing multiple choice questions since you are prepared in TET and you have qualified it. So now focus on descriptive answers, especially maths and science, because for maths and science only they are asking descriptive questions. Okay, clear, right? Next important exam, which is HSTR, High School Teacher Recruitment. Now as per our previous notification and till now, TET is not needed for this exam up till now. Okay, so there are chances that they will not even ask for TET for this exam because it is a high school teacher recruitment, right? So till now we have not seen TET needed for high school teacher recruitment in any states in India as per my knowledge. Okay, and we can consider that this exam is going to be a tough exam when you compare it with TET and GPSTR, because though it has only MCQs, it is going to cover the syllabus from primary till degree also. Many chapters are included in the syllabus. So what will be there in paper 1? In paper 1, they will have questions from GK. They will have divided from GK, 25 questions will be there. From educational psychology, 25 questions will be there. From English part, 12 questions will be there. From computer literacy, 12 questions will be there. From mental ability also a few questions, I think 25 questions will be there. So this is going to be your paper 1. But in paper 2, if you are a PM method aspirant, you will have only physics and mathematics in your paper. If you are a CB method aspirant, you will have only chemistry and biology in your paper, and these subjects are going to be covering the depth till degree also. Okay, so multiple choice questions for paper 1 you will have 100 questions, for paper 2 you will have 100 questions and no negative marking. Okay, that's why HSTR becomes easy when you compare it with CRISE. You can put all these exams in one category, like KVS is there, TGT is there, PGT is there, HSTR is there, CRISE is there. All come under one category. Same type of toughness will be there. But in CRISE you will have negative marking, that you have to keep in your mind. And in CRISE syllabus is more when compared to HSTR. For physics, maths is the same only. Okay. So you have to keep in your mind that HSTR needs wide coverage. You need to cover till your degree. So if you combine TET and GPSTR preparation style, that is going to help you with HSTR. Of course, practicing previous papers will help, but we don't have previous exam papers for HSTR because previously in Karnataka it was conducted in 2015. The high school teacher recruitment has been not done since 2015. So that's why things become little tough for us. So we will have to wait for the notification to exactly find out what type of questions can be expected this time. So this exam also becomes a very important exam because it is a recruitment of HSTR, and it becomes more important for aspirants who have not qualified TET. Aspirants who have qualified TET can go for GPSTR, but who have not qualified TET can prepare for HSTR. Clear, right? Now comes our another important exam, which is also a eligibility exam like TET, but this time it is eligibility exam for assistant professorship in government colleges and universities in Karnataka. We call it KSET, Karnataka State Eligibility Test. Of course, because it is a eligibility test for assistant professorship, your syllabus will be from MSc level. Obviously, it will be tough. But if you compare it with NET exam, it will be easy because there will be no negative marking in KSET. Okay, but syllabus is same as NET exam only. It will be your MSc level, university level syllabus. Okay, of course, MCQs will be there and you will have two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1, it will have research aptitude. Teaching will be there, mental ability, reasoning, all those type of questions will be there. Of course, few questions from GK also will be there in paper 1. In paper 2, you will have subject specific questions. Like if you are a aspirant from physics, you will have only physics questions. 100 questions will be there only from physics. If you are maths, means only maths questions. If you are from chemistry or if you are from biology, means respectively chemistry and biology questions will be there in paper 2. Okay, for this also certain rules are there for qualifying. Once you qualify it, you will have eligibility for teaching in universities and colleges, and this also will have lifetime validity. Okay, there are some cases where if you qualify KSET or if you do PhD, in both scenarios you will be eligible for assistant professorship in Karnataka. Okay, clear it? So this is the full story of all the 4 important exams we were talking about. So after knowing all this, still if you have any doubt, please go ahead with asking doubts in our Telegram group or in the comment section below. So this is the best consolidated information we tried to give you by making this table. We really hope that this class helps you. Thank you. All the best. Bye.